This happens every fucking time. Alrighty. Sorry it took me longer this time to set up my camera. Gentlemen, welcome back. I know my videos are low quality, but god damn it, I don't care. I've been wanting to do my videos for a long fucking time, about 10 years. And I was doing some a few years ago, but I haven't really been able to do them consistently until recently. So, I have another one for you today, where we're dealing with this young lady who has some response, to mgtow, her answers to mgtow. You're probably not going to watch this whole thing, because there's only certain few things that she said that really pissed me off, and I just want to discuss those things. I mean, and it's the things that I'm pointing out mainly are dealing with like women's entitlement, their feelings of they should always have better. Now, there's nothing wrong with anyone feeling like they should have better. I think everyone should feel that way, but it's just a little bit disproportionate when it comes to women versus men. Like for instance, the last video I was watching, where Dr. Phil was talking about, you only get those things that you feel you deserve, right? All the women clapped, and they all believed in that, right? And that would mean that I believe that I deserve only fat, disgusting women. And I'm not saying that that's all I've ever gotten. I'm just saying the fact that I've gotten fat, disgusting women who were attracted to me, is basically what you're saying when you say that because a fat, disgusting woman tried to talk to me, I feel like I deserve fat and disgusting women. That's ridiculous. Also, like the last girl who said, you attract what you are. I'm like, oh, okay. So I attract old women. I was attracting older women, so I must be old. Just the ridiculous things that people who are feminists and who have the same mindset of women tend to say. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Let me go back. My big problems with mgtow is one of my big problems. Weeks to 2 months, potentially even longer, for better chances at getting a relationship.
No, actually, she did say a couple things I agree.
Or has more money at the time, can potentially pay a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a 50-50 split.
Oh, yeah, I needed to go back a little bit further.
Right away, they're creating a little echo chamber. And again, that's part of what I have the problem with. FDSs believe that the man should pay for dates and should be responsible for significantly more than half of the expenses in the relationship. Was this written in the 1800s? Okay, maybe slight exaggeration there, but I don't get it. Like, what is wrong within a relationship? Just being equal, paying your way. Whoever earns more or has more money at the time can potentially pay a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a 50-50 split, but it has to be equal. That's how relationships should work.
Alright, so here she is talking about how whoever has more money should pay, I highly doubt, by looking at this girl, that she's ever paid for a man a day in her life. I mean, I'm not saying that, because she's a good-looking woman. No, matter of fact, because she's a good-looking woman. Yeah, she's a really good-looking woman. She never had to pay a person any money. She never had to pay to take any person out on any fucking dates. Ever. Okay? She will claim it. She'll definitely claim it. If you ever get in a conversation with a girl like this, she will definitely claim, oh, well, no, I believe in equality and I do that type of shit, but she doesn't. And then she's talking about so it should be equal. It doesn't have to be a 50-50 split, but it should be equal. Equal would mean that it's a 50-50 split. And it's not just a 50-50 split, like financially. It would mean that a 50-50 split means that, all right, maybe I handle the bills. If I handle the bills, then, well, you handle these other things that are commensurate to handling the bills. You know, it's not. It would be. We have a similar amount of a workload. Is basically what I'm trying to say. You spend 8 hours a day at work, then you come home, and I spend 8 hours a day at work at home. You know, just as a reference. That's equality. But of course, and I'm not saying that that's, you know, because I don't know what her fucking life is, but I'm quite positive she's never paid for somebody else's date for her to go on a date with them. Okay, and if she has paid for them, she didn't sleep with them. So that's not the person you're dating. The person you took out with you that was a charity case. That was not a date. So yes, continue.
You know, it's not a man's job just because he was born with a penis.
You're right.
How do these people think same-sex relationships work? How do these people think relationships with non-binary people work? It's insane. FDS believes that a woman should delay sex with a new guy for at least 6 weeks to 2 months, potentially even longer, for better chances at getting a relationship. Again, this was one of my big problems with mgtow, is one of my big problems here. Both of them have very different approaches to sex, but both see it as something transactional, something to bargain with. It's insane. Sex is simply an activity that two people who are interested in each other do. I don't understand the people who assign value to people based on the number of sexual partners they've had.
All right. So let me just get to the first point. The first point you were saying was MGTOW and I guess feminists look at sex as transactional. See, the thing is, MGTOW, you know, and I really don't like to use the term true MGTOW, but when I say true MGTOW, I mean the people who have come up with these terms on their own before having any interaction with anybody else in the MGTOW or red pill community. They came up, all of us who are, in my opinion, true MGTOW, we've come up with these terms all on our own. Like, for instance, the term incel. I came up with a term that's similar to incel before I ever heard the term incel. Mine was forcel. You were forced celibate. You know, that's just one example. You know, I've had bunches of examples, like when I spoke to Tommy Sotomayor and I've heard him speak. He was my number one person because I heard him speak and I was like, damn, I said that a little differently, but I said that same thing. MGTOW don't look at sex as just transactional. In fact, most MGTOW used to look at sex as a thing that's had between two people that are interested in each other. For instance, myself, I didn't look at sex like, oh, well, I'll do this for you if you have sex with me. Like, no. The reason why MGTOW call it transactional is because women treat it as such. They're actually worse than, women don't even treat it transactional. Women try to hold the pussy hostage. They try to hold it hostage from guys who may be a little bit softer, you know. Maybe these guys are not really quote unquote strong men, you know, emotionally. Maybe don't have good control over their emotions, but yet those men are the ones that women make wait a long time. So you want to say that men want to look at it as transactional? Well, you got to realize that the person that on the other end of this table is actually treating it as though it's transactional. Here it is, you know. I know every man can think of a woman in their life that would act like, oh, sex is just, it's not that big a deal. Sex is not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal, right? Okay, good. Okay, fine. Then why is it a big deal for you to just have sex with me? And then here's the part that'll really fuck up most men. That really makes most men angry, and which causes them to start viewing it, like you say, transactional, because they realize, oh shit, how many transactions I've put in I put in transactions after transaction after transaction. I've paid for date after date after date, and then come to find out she's got somebody she's fucking who never paid for a date with her. Never spent no money on any dates with her. And she like the girls, like, she's reading off the list and they saying, oh, should wait 6 months, 6 weeks to or whatever. Yeah, these bitches are fucking on the first night. That same girl who's claiming that horse shit with you, she fucked another guy 10 minutes after she met him. And then that is what makes a lot of men, mgtow or red pill or however you want to put it, look at it as transactional. Because, bitch, I spent $300 on you. I spent $500 on you. And I'm going to show you another clip after this where there was a female comedian where she actually started to see men's points of view because she paid for her boyfriends. She's older and she pays for her boyfriends, and she's like, damn, I expect certain shit. And she started to sound like a dude from like the 1910s. So let's get back to this one.
People who assign value to people based on when and if and how often.
Now, yes, you can't. Now, as far as that is concerned, I mean, there's an old proverb that really answers that, what she just asked, really well. She said, "I don't see how people can assign a value or a number to somebody else and think that less or more of that person." And why? Reason why she can't do that is because she's a woman. And women are terribly not non-self-aware. She's probably got a high body count herself. But it's real simple. If you have a key that opens any lock, we would call that a master key. If you have a lock that can open from any key, you would call that a shitty fucking lock. And any human being would be understandably upset if they had a key, it had a lock. It had a lock that would open to any fucking key. It works. Any key. You get the most jagged, fucked up key you can imagine. A gum key, a key that's made of gum, a key that's too big to fit in the socket, a key that's too light to turn the metal, like a feather key, right? So this lock would open for the feather key, it opened for the gum key, it opened for the key that was too big to fit in the lock. It opened for all of that stuff. Now I go and get my personal actual key, and this lock won't open for that key. Any human being would be understandably upset. You just worked for this thing, you just worked for that thing, but you won't do that same thing for me. And then you claim to be my friend. That's women.
What they'll do in terms of sex, it's bizarre. If it's consensual.
Yes. You don't understand how a man could get upset, where he would go, because there are a lot of men who are going years and years and years without sexual intercourse at all, and then he finally meets a girl who's that easily opened key. That easily opened lock, and you hear from her own mouth, because she's in a relationship with you, that she, this lock has opened for the whole football team's keys. And the entire football team have put their keys in the socket where the fucking locking part the little bar goes in. They put their key inside the loop. They put their key inside the hole. They put the key up around it. This lock has been drenched in their liquid, right? Cum shots in the face and all this other stuff, right? And women will look at that and say, "Oh well, those are her life experiences. Okay, well, fine. Now, I'm your current man, and I've never had an experience like that. I've never had no threesome. You have. Why not have a threesome with me and some girl? You help me get the girl. No, I won't do that. A woman won't do that. Then a man could be understandably upset. You know, you sucked the whole football team's dick, but and you did that for hours. And then now I'm your husband. I paid the highest price for you. And you know, when you suck my dick, it's lazy, and you're done in a minute. 30 seconds, you're done. But when you want me to eat you out, and when I eat you out, it's an hour. Even after you fuck the whole football team. You want me to still put my mouth on your nasty fucking hole that has had a bunch of other men sticking their penis in there. First, I don't think any man wants to put his mouth where another man's penis has been. That's sensible. No man should want to put his mouth where another man's penis has been. Okay, so, and then, what was that? Yeah, so, yeah, so you go out and do all of these things and, sexual information. Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay, it'll come to me again.
Both enjoying it. What's the problem? They're making far too big of a deal out of it and making it something that people feel they should be so ashamed of or worried about or self-conscious about, or like, we can't do this, we can only do this, people are going to judge me. Like, no. If it's two consenting adults, or more, if that's your thing, as long as all adult participants are consenting, it shouldn't matter. Sex is not a bargaining tool, or, I don't know, something you exchange and have rules and rules. It's so weird.
Sex is definitely a bargaining tool. This is another woman who is unaware of women. The only thing that women have to bargain with is sex. If they had anything else, if they didn't, start that over. If that weren't the case, then sex, or the absence of sex, would not be the third reason, the number 3 reason why divorces happen. Or is it this number 2 reason? It's either the number 2 or the number 3 reason why divorces happen. So if that were the case, and also, by the way, if women, I still never could seem to get anyone to answer this question with a reasonable answer. No one ever answers the question reasonably. They always got some kind of answer that if you were to flip it around and flip the genders, that wouldn't fly if it was men who do that. For instance, my question is, what do women offer besides sex in relationships? One of my friends came up and said, "Oh, well, they spend our money." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, if men spent women's money, do you think that would be considered something that women need?" No. They would say that you're a deadbeat and worthless. Go get a job, nigga. Let's move on.
And in the same vein, I find this next one incredibly weird, and I know a lot of you watching will do as well, because you brought up points like this before. FDSs do not support the sexual degradation of women under the guise of consensual BDSM. This is so weird. Now, the BDSM community obviously isn't something that I personally know about, but it is something that a lot of my
She probably does personally know about it.
The fact that consensual
I don't trust a
BDSM
thing a woman says out of her fucking mouth.
fine. Again.
Oh, what about your mom? Yeah, I don't trust half the shit she says either.
Words in place and so on. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not degrading if it's something you enjoy and agree to and ask for. A lot of my viewers and commenters, you guys have brought up in the past that you feel that the BDSM community is demonized in some way and is looked down upon as though you're doing something to devalue themselves. And, I don't think that's okay. You guys don't think that's okay.
I like BDSM.
But again, if you are one of these people, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because like I say, I can't speak from personal experience, only repeating back what you guys have told me. But I find it so bizarre. This feels like such an unhealthy relationship to sex in general. It's like they don't understand what it's for, and that sex is a healthy, natural part of relationships. Not necessarily romantic relationships either, just relationships with people. It's part of being human. It's part of being an animal. Again, this next one has huge echoes of mgtow, in that it puts far too much emphasis on a person's sexual history. To me, it doesn't matter. I would find it so weird if I went on a date with someone and they tried to ask me, like, oh, how many people have you been with? How many people have you done this with? Tell me everything. It's kind of weird. All you really need to know is a person free from STDs and stuff like that? Do they have any children? And are they willing to be monogamous with you if that's what you're interested in, and like faithful and stuff? That's kind of all you need to know. I don't understand this view that like people should ascribe worth to someone based on their sexual past.
Well, it's very. I understand that you don't understand, and that's because you're a woman. You see, you know, women are actually really good salesmen. Because they're able to sell a used product at a higher price the more it gets used. I mean, it's only women tend to do that. If you get a car and drive it off of the lot, it's the second you drive the car off the lot, it loses its value. It loses value right away the second you get it. So, with that being the case, if the car loses value the second you take it off the lot, right? You get a test drive. I mean, not test drive, but you buy it. Women, I love comparing them to cars because cars and women have a lot of parallels. Owners, boyfriends, mileage, how many times you had sex, and accidents, kids, STDs. And so when you get a car, you can find something called the Carfax. And if your car that you now have has accidents in its history, she wouldn't want to pay full price. She wouldn't want to pay. She would want something to be taken off for those accidents. This girl who's trying to say, I don't understand how you could ascribe value to someone based upon a number of times they've done something. Well, I mean, if somebody was a child molester and they did it once, you might find that they were redeemable. This person is a redeemable person. But if they were a child molester and they molested 100 children, you might not find them redeemable. You see what I'm saying? Just like a car with a bunch of accidents. Or the Mona Lisa. If you got the Mona Lisa and you paid $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever it costs for the Mona Lisa, and then you get it and you find out that the last person who had it took a piss on it, used it as a tablecloth, you would be highly upset that you paid as much or more than the last person that got it, and you get it in a fucked up state or in a used state. It's not any longer new, it's in a used state. That's like when you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that. If somebody else had the game before, when you go to GameStop, you buy it used and it's cheaper. But see, women, like especially this bitch right here, she's expensive. You better believe she's expensive. Look at that microphone. Look at what she's wearing. Look at these bracelets. Man, this girl is expensive. Okay, I bet you it's $100 a plate to take this girl on a date. Next, continue.
I've seen a lot of MGTOW guys say that apparently,
and she's probably got a lot of
X number of people, or more than this number of people, and they can't pair bond anymore. It's dodgy science. It's not true. There's a great book called The Ethical Slut that actually
I find it funny when women try to, disclaim science. Oh, it's not real science. It's not true. Yeah. Excuse me. Tell me what realm of science do women dominate? Next.
Goes into the research behind a lot of this and talks about how, as humans, we don't have I guess a limited amount of love and caring to give. It's not like a woman is born with X amount of love and stuff, and if she has too many penises put in her, that love is depleted and it's all gone and there's nothing left for you. That's not how it works. Not at all. It gives the example.
Actually, that is pretty much how it works, because women tend to, while they're young, in their youth, they tend to sleep around a lot with a bunch of guys who they find hot or whatever.